Hello everybody, for the funnies I'm gonna make the audio go really quiet sometimes and then make it go really loud just because audio vertigo. I thought it would be funny just playing around with the title of the album, but this is the new record by Elbow, and this is in my opinion, the best record since The Seldom Seen Kid. What makes me think that is I just think the songs have a more consistent flow between each other, minus Poker Face to Knife Fight. It just feels like an abrupt ending straight into a next song with not really much transition. It just feels natural. It just kind of jumps into the next one, especially since Knife Fight as well is quite a standout track in comparison. It just feels like a really weak movement because the songs don't necessarily tie into each other as well as they could. Um, but yeah, I went into this not knowing what to expect, blind to listen, and I must say, yeah, I agree. It's probably the best record since the Seldom Seen Kid, but unfortunately, it doesn't really hold up as well as that record did for their discography. Some good songs here and there, but I think it's kind of hit or miss with some of the singles. I like Balu, and I think Good Blood Mexico City kind of had the right ideas, but Lover's Leap, I think the instrumentation can be quite obnoxious, especially when the song starts. I just think it's one of those irritating sounds that they just drag on to kind of make it implement to make it give it that um, refreshing sound, but it doesn't really necessarily go there for it. I think Things I've Been Telling Myself for Years is a good start, though. This is the one that kind of intrigued my interest the more I listened to this record, and afterwards I'm finding myself sort of jamming to Very Heaven, Balu, as I mentioned, and I even think the pitch is not too bad. But I do find this album just to kind of have some issues, just with a lot of the songs just kind of coming off as a alright elbow track. I think there's some decent ideas, but they don't necessarily push for the best of elbow sound on this record, especially with the final track From the River. I didn't even know when this song started or ended because I was already uh, kind of underwhelmed with a lot of this record. There's some decent stuff, and we have like two interlude tracks, but for the most part, the most memorable thing is the mention of cocaine. I don't know why that's the one thing that stood out to me when Coke was mentioned, but yeah, Coke. I think it's mentioned on two tracks from what I believe. I just find it's a interesting thing to bring up. Audio Vertigo does have some interesting ideas, and compared to the takeoff and the landing, I probably say when it comes to the more modern elbow stuff, even some of the newer stuff afterwards, especially with Flying Dream 1, this is just a much more preferred direction that I would rather see Elbow take. It's something that I want them to go for, but then push onwards, because there's definitely potential. I just don't think they quite hit the mark on this one. But it's not a bad album either. I would say it's just alright. I'll give it that 2.5 out of 5 alright score. So I hope you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.